So this is the title of today's sermon. It's 12:30. So what we're going to do, our scripture reading. Oh, Sister Loretta's about to do the scripture reading. You want to read it first from where you are there, Sister Loretta? Okay, go ahead. Okay, let me read it to you. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many. Bring them down to the water, and I will try them for thee there. And it shall be that of whom I say unto thee, this shall go with thee, the same shall go with thee. And of whomsoever I say unto thee, this shall not go with thee, the same shall not go. So he brought them down so he brought down the people unto the water, and the Lord said unto Gideon, every one that lappeth of the water with his tongue, as a dog lappeth, thou set himself. Likewise, every one that break down upon his knees to drink, and the number of them that lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, were 300 men. But of all the rest of the people bowed down upon their knees to drink water. And the Lord said unto Gideon, I, the 300 men that lapped, will I save you, and deliver the Midianites into thine hand, and let all the other people go every man unto his place. Unto his place. God's 300 remnants. Okay, we are going to skip testimonies today. I'm sorry. Okay, and we're going to get straight to current events. Straight to current events. So, in the magazine called Politico, have you heard of a magazine called Politico? Politico, okay? It's not a religious magazine. And in the January 1 issue of Politico, it says this, the incredible world-altering black swan events that could upend life in 2025. And what Politico did, they wrote out or contacted various experts in various fields and said, what do you see in 2025? And they came up with a list of things. Futurist foreign policy analysts and other prognosticators. That was a new word on me, prognosticators. Provide some explosive potential scenarios for the new year. 2024 often felt manic with assassination attempts on Donald Trump, war in the Middle East, and the implosion of Joe Biden's presidential campaign. But there's no reason to think that 2025 will be any calmer. So we asked an array of thinkers, futurists, scientists, foreign policy analysts, and others to lay out some of the possible black swan events that could await us in the new year. What are the what are the unpredictable, unlikely episodes that aren't yet on the radar but will completely in American life? We know it. Okay? And these are some of the 15 that they talked about. The largest cyber attack in history. Where have you heard that from? The World Economic Forum. Okay, secessionists are on the march. Okay, these are people who want to separate their state from the United States. The outbreak soon reaches epidemic proportions. These are titles of the essays they wrote. The outbreak soon reaches epidemic proportions, talking about the next pandemic, 2025. Market crash triggers a global panic. There goes all your money. Climate action becomes the norm. Yes, everything's blamed on climate. Okay, unexpected geopolitical alliances and realignment. And that's what's significant about that. You know, we have the Western world and we have also, which is the G7, and we have the um, the BRICS economies as well. The American military moves into the unvaccinated age, and that's already started. That's already started where um, Donald Trump has rolled back on the mandate for servicemen to be vaccinated. Loss of power will fundamentally upend American life. When I mean loss of power, I mean one of the reasons sin is to get off grid. The temptation to reach for the nuclear toolbox may be too hard to resist. And in that essay, he talked about um, small scale, low yield nuclear warheads being used around the world. 2126 says, men's heart failing them for men's heart failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be taken. Mrs. White puts it like this in the book Evangelism. The present is a time of overwhelming interest for all living. Rulers and statesmen, many occupy positions of trust and authority. Thinking men and women of all classes have their attention the events taking place, the intensity that is taking possession. Every earthly element recognize some great decisive is about to be on the verge of a stupendous crisis. So Mrs. White is saying non-religious people, non-religious thinkers and experts, they are seeing that something incredible is about to take place. Let's move on to another news story. NPR said this, and it was reported elsewhere. Biden pardons Fauci. Biden pardons Fauci in an extraordinary move. Hours before leaving office on Monday, President Biden said he was issuing pardons to retired General Mark Miley, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the members of Congress and staff who served on the January 6th committee and the U.S. Capitol, and Washington, D.C. police officers who testified before that committee. Issuing pardons. Okay? This is um, this is how what Fauci had to say about his pardon. Bible says this. This is David speaking. For I was envious of at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked, until I went into the sanctuary of God. Then I understood their end. What do you see in the sanctuary of God? The sanctuary of God is all about judgment. And there's going to be a judgment there. You can get away with it down here. You can get pardoned down here. But one day, you're going to have to give account. And this is guaranteed because Ecclesiastes 12:14 says this, for God shall bring every work into judgment, with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be there's going to be a judgment. You can get away from being persecuted down here. You may not know the whole truth here, but in heaven, it's all coming out. Okay? Catholic newspaper. It says this. Who are the religious figures that prayed for Donald Trump at his inauguration? 6 religious figures attended US President Donald Trump's inauguration January 20. Unlike the 2017 ceremony, an equal number of Catholics and evangelical pastors, along with a rabbi, prayed for the 47th President of the United States. Cardinal Timothy Dolan of New York delivered the opening prayer. Notably, and in contrast to Trump's 2017 inauguration, an equal number of Catholics and evangelicals were overrepresented 8 years ago. I thought this was a Protestant country. They were overrepresented 8 years ago. Evangelical to Billy Graham, a longtime supporter of the president, offered an opening prayer then. Okay, another news story. Put this one from the Associated Press. At the inaugural prayer service, Bishop leads for Trump to have mercy on LGBTQ plus people and the migrants. Okay, this is about that. I want to focus on the prayer service. Okay, so this is what she said, but what she says, okay, it's more about what is Donald Trump holding in his hand? You see what he's holding in his hand? Okay, it's a program for the prayer service. Okay, so this is the picture of the program for the prayer service, a service of prayer for the nations. Anything interesting you see on it? Yep, yep. Joel's got it. There's keys. There's cross keys. Where did they come from? The papacy. Okay. Let me show you the papal emblem. Do you see the cross keys? Okay. Now, this was on the front of the national press. Let me show you the logo of the National Cathedral. The press service was held at the National Cathedral. Let me show you the logo and let's see if there's any similarities. Okay. This is the logo. So it wasn't anything to do with them. Let's see what was on the back cover of the program. There's a logo on the back cover of the program. See how small it is? This is in the same size, same proportion as the I showed you. Okay. So National Cathedral is Protestant, Catholic. So perhaps it's to do with the Church of England or something. Well, these are the symbols for the Church of England. You see the cross keys there? Yeah, you saw the mitre, but not the cross keys. Okay, so let's just make sure that the National Cathedral is Protestant and not Catholic. Cathedral Church at St. Peter and St. Paul in the city and diocese of Washington, commonly known as Washington National Cathedral or National Cathedral, is a cathedral of the Episcopal Church. That's